Hi KSFLers, this is your mid-course motivator. I know that a couple of you are struggling quite a lot. You haven't probably had the best first couple of weeks on KSFL. There's been times where you've fallen off the wagon, you've tried to jump back on, you've then fallen off again, or it might be that you've kind of had to take baby steps because this is such a massive change from what you were previously doing, that you've had to kind of almost drip feed this kind of clean eating into your diet. And what I wanted to just say was keep going, guys. You know, this program is not about being perfect. It is not about sticking to the plan 100%. It's an education. It's teaching you really about your body and what you can tolerate and what you can't. Now, I know a couple of you have sort of said that, you know, you'd fallen off the wagon and you'd eaten bread and that had made you really bloated. That tells you something. It's telling you about your body, about what you can accept and what you can't. I'm not going to sit here and preach to you and say you must not eat bread, because I eat bread. But we just need to understand how our body responds to it. So what works for us might not work for somebody else. What works for you might be completely different from somebody else who's on the program. And that's what this is all about. So certainly if you are in continuation or if you are in maintenance, those two phases are the whole time they're teaching you about what your body can accept. So you kind of add foods in, see how you respond. If your weight goes up, you know that it's not good. Or if you have a bad reaction, like you have an upset stomach, or you get bloated, or you feel sick, or you are sick, then you know that that's not good for you and that your body almost is intolerant to it. Now, we don't realise how many different foods our bodies are intolerant to until we do something like this. So, a couple of you have said, you know, like every day before you did KSFL, you were always tired. You might have had like a furry tongue, you know, you woke up exhausted. It didn't matter what time you went to bed, you were still tired in the mornings, you felt rubbish, you know, you were constantly getting ill. All of those things, they are side effects to foods that you are intolerant to. And if you're putting them in your body constantly, it might not be that you come out with a rash. It might not be that you know, you're physically ill, as in sick or upset stomach, but it might be completely zapping your energy levels. It might be completely, you know, making you feel tired, knocking down your immune system so that you do get other bugs coming to you. And then when you do the detox, even if it is, you know, you're only kind of like drip feeding the plan into your life, all of a sudden you get that education going on. So you've done 2 weeks. We've got 2 weeks to go on this program. Whether you're on continuation, whether you're on the first 28 days, what I want you to do is I want you to think about all the things that you've changed since coming on KSFL. It could be just the tiniest little thing, like getting up 15 minutes earlier in the morning to get the workouts done. It might be that you haven't stuck to the food plan that great, but the exercise is really working for you, and you've become much more healthier and fitter. Your fitness tests are improving massively. It could be that you are drinking more water every day, and that might be something that you never did before. So I want you to reflect on all of those things. Think about all the positive changes you've made to your life whilst you've been on KSFL, and I want you to recognise these big achievements that you've made, because all these little things add up, and the little changes make a big change in the long run. I want you to think about maybe what the weight and your measurements were when you first started KSFL. Certainly, if you're on continuation or maintenance phase, go back to your original measurements and then look at the difference between now and then. Sometimes when you go into continuation and maintenance, you're only really losing a couple of pounds a week, and your measurements might only be coming down by 2-3 inches. That is normal, absolutely normal, because otherwise you would be, you know, losing 10 inches every week. You'd be the size of a skeleton by the end of it. So your body kind of gets into its natural form once you've kind of reduce your body fat down, reduce your inches down as much as you can. And then it goes through a stage where you're not going to have massive stretch marks because you're reducing it down at a really good rate. Not a big rate, it's a good rate. You're staying to it, you're kind of maintaining it, which is what it's all about. So I want you to reflect on that. If this is your first time on KSFL, I want you to reflect on how different your lifestyle is now with regards to your diet, with regards to exercise, the little changes that you've made since just doing 2 weeks and the achievements that you've made. If you did do your cheat this weekend, brilliant, that's absolutely fine. We embrace that. But I want you to now make a new set of goals for these next 2 weeks. If you don't want to make them for 2 weeks, if you're kind of a bit more of a short-term person, make it for the week. What do you want to achieve this week? 3rd week in, what's your game plan? And if possible, I want you to post it on the Facebook site. I want to know what those goals are. 1, so that we can help you. And 2, so you make ownership of those goals. Because once you write them down, they're yours. It's almost like saying them out loud. You kind of feel obliged then to definitely make it, definitely do it. Now, Amy's invited a lot of you, or all of you, to do this motivational mindset mapping questionnaire. If you've received that questionnaire, if you haven't, put your email address down on her link. If you've received it, then I really, really want you to complete it. It will tell you a lot about yourself. It will tell you a lot about what motivates you and how we can kind of encourage that and how you can help yourself as well. So I really want you to have a go at that and see what the response is. You'll get your own little profile on it sent to you, so it's really, really valuable. I'm going to do mine as well this week, so I'm really interested in seeing what that's all about. If you've got any questions going into week 3, please don't hesitate to get in contact. Otherwise, have a most amazing rest of these 2 weeks on KSFL, and I'll see you soon.